That's mad funny. That is, it's true though. It's true. You can't go from like one to the other, to be fair. But I was gonna say to you as well, the Euros, man. It's coming up. I can't sing that. No, I can't sing that song. You know why? What's his name? David, is it David Baddiel?
And wasn't it Skinner?
Frank Skinner and them, man.
Yeah.
Can't be singing that, but it is coming home.
Can sing what you want. Can sing what you want. So I've got a question for you. Because obviously we're approaching this in different ways. But in a genuine way, what has it been like to be, a fan? Let's say that. Like, what's the experience? Because I'm not obviously watching it from that
fan perspective.
Yeah. What's that been like?
I think, like I said to you, I think this Euros has been boring. I think all the England games, apart from maybe the Netherlands, but even that was a boring game. Like, remember I said to you the other day or the other week, I said they've had good moments in them, but we've not had like really good games. Like, we haven't had a game where it's been like end to end, and there's been loads of things happening. There's been one or two. I think like an Albania game. I think there might have been a Romania game that was okay early in the group stages, but apart from that, from an England perspective, it's been poor, man. And I don't know if that's just because of Southgate's like negative, like he's quite defensive, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's conservative.
Yeah,
I'm not sure like defensive, but he's definitely.
When I say defensive, I don't mean like with like five defend. I mean he just doesn't like to attack. Tactically, he doesn't like to attack. He's very cautious. Doesn't want to sort of open the floodgates to get like the goals. Do you know what I mean? He wants to keep things very safe. Go 1-0 up, defend, sit back. Don't try and get another goal. Like in tournament football, you can't really always play like that because you do need that second goal. And to be fair, every knockout game. I know that the Watkins one was kind of like a fluke a little bit, like it could have gone into extra time, but every knockout game for England has proven that they always need to score 2 goals. Like, you have to score 2 goals. You can't score one and then defend and then hope that you get through or play for penalties or play for extra time. You have to get the second goal. That's just me anyway. But what do you think I'm going to say not from a fan perspective, partial fan.
Well, no, neutral.
Man said that.
No. I'll say that. I said it in my chest. No,
you got the France flag still hanging up. Yeah.
No, like usually international tournaments. But I say this because the only team I support has only been in one. But international tournaments, I find it quite nice because I can just watch it like neutrally, kind of like the Champions League for the last 10 years. I can just watch it as a neutral and trading.
Yeah.
So I found the group stages. I really enjoyed the group stages. I know the quality wasn't there, but the drama and for me, there's two sides. There's the quality is definitely lower, as I just mentioned, because there's too many teams, and I think that's kind of murdered it.
Do you think that's what it is, though? Do you think that's just what it is?
There's too many teams, because actually the smaller, the kind of in quote marks smaller nations are better. Like Georgia weren't playing that football like years ago. Same with Albania. There's a lot of sides that play a much better football, and they've got players at big clubs. But I think there's too many teams, which means it's kind of a bit more chaotic in the group stage. But I think that's also to do with the format. The third place teams going through. Yeah. To go through about winning a game is quite problematic. So it means you can go really attacking and really defensive, and then it's a bit weird. And I think that's why the knockout rounds and it's not been great because I don't think anyone's got momentum. But no, it's been quite fun to kind of watch. And you get to learn about all the different players, and yeah, I've got no vetted interest, so it's been good. Whoever's winning, whoever's losing, it's calm.
You know what's funny as well? Like not you, but like online, like I'm seeing a lot of people say like not anti-England, I suppose, but and I don't mean you, but like people letting you know that they're not supporting England. Do you know what I mean? Like people like, I'm not supporting them. I can't condone. I'm not with this, and I'm like, just don't be with it then. Like no one's put a gun to your head. No one's told you that you got to support. No one's forcing you to wear the England shirt. Nothing like that. But I think it'd be good if England can win on Sunday against Spain.
Yeah.
I think it'd be say good, but it'd be good to see people that I've grew up and watched all these tournaments and not seen like the England team lift the trophy. Like you think back to how close, but how so far away, like in terms of like the semi-finals, the finals, Euro 96.
Well, you all deserve a bit. It's like you've all been sat at the slot machine for the last 70 years.
Just spinning like that, pressing like that.
Yeah. There's all of you just crowded around, and then almost
finally you get a little
bananas and an apple and maybe
get a little change. Yeah.
I think I'm definitely here for the bank holiday. So
no, I told you can't have that. You can't have that. No. Bank holiday.
I'll work. I'll just do double time in it. But no.
The bank holiday, but you don't want to support the team. That's how we're doing.
Because that's the same with every country.
It's not.
We need to be from. No. So what if I'm in what country? If I'm in the Netherlands and they win the World Cups, they never won it before. They have a bank holiday.
Yeah, but I think
you need to support them.
No, I think you'd partially support them though.
Would I? I mean,
if you were there,
bad because I've always loved their football. But if I'm living in,
say Australia or somewhere like that.
No, I'm gonna say Russia. Okay. If I'm living in Russia, they get allowed back in and they win it. I don't know why I'm in Russia, by the way, and they have a bank holiday. Yeah, I'm not going at my Russia flag, but I'll be at home just chilling. We'll be doing a bit of FM.
You're a dangerous guy, man. Dangerous guy. I'm telling you. People like you gotta watch out for. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Dangerous.
Can I ask though? Who's impressed you? A team and a player.
Okay, the team that's probably impressed me was probably Georgia. Didn't think they'd get as far as they did. Like in terms of the way they played as well. Some of the games they played. Who did they beat? Was it Turkey?
No, they lost to Turkey, but they beat.
Was it Albania? I can't remember the knockouts now. They beat someone. I know they beat Portugal, but that was like a nothing game. That was like 2-0. Oh, sorry, it was the Portugal game.
Yeah, it was Portugal game. And to be fair, Portugal played well.
Yeah.
Remember their second 11, and I'll ask you a question in a moment actually. But yeah, no, that they played well that game. They deserve to win.
I think individually, I don't know. I was going to say this, but Yamal has been brilliant. Yeah. I think he's probably been a standout. I think Musiala as well. I'm thinking about some of the younger players, but Musiala played well, obviously, before Germany got knocked out. But Yamal, even scoring that goal the other night against France was mad. Do you know what I mean? Like, just to see someone with that much ability at that age playing that well. I think he turns 17 a couple of days from now. Tomorrow, yeah. So to see him playing that way, I'm trying to think of another player at that level, that age, that's done something like that on a major, like, international stage. I can't think of any. I can't think of many.
Not 16. Yeah. Remember as well, like he would have, given that his birthday's tomorrow, he would have literally come into the Barcelona
just when he turned 16 or just before.
Just after 16, yeah. So
what about
no, he's incredible. The team I think that's done. I'm trying to think of there's someone in the quarterfinals that got knocked out that I thought was quite unlucky. I'm trying to think who was in there. Why is our mind gone blank? Who's been in the Euro? There's been a few letdowns at least. Like Italy been poor. I think, to be fair, some of the sides that England have played, like Slovakia, to be fair, were a lot better than I thought they would be. But no, I think Yamal probably the player that I thought's done well. Can't think of a team. My mind's gone blank.
Yeah. You can't think of our team.
I'm trying to think of a team that's impressed me, but I can't. Let's play well. Oh, Turkey. That was the team I was thinking of. I thought they did well. I thought they were unlucky actually not to be in the semi-finals. They came up short, but when you talk about the hunger, you can see that they're fighting. Yeah, they're fighting for their country. They're not coming off that pitch with no disgrace, no regrets.
Yeah.
So they're a team that's actually impressed me. And to be fair, I shouldn't be surprised because in my whole lifetime, Turkey have generally actually done well.
Yeah, they have.
So yeah, those have probably been the two.
Yeah. I can't knock that at all, man. I can't knock that at all. Just realised we haven't done intro. So 10 minutes. No, but we do that now. This is a new format. We do the little segment at the start, then we do the intro. So we're gonna do the intro now. Episode 4 now, and episode 4, stay tuned podcast, season 3, all of them things. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you go to the audio version of the podcast. If you're on YouTube, like the video, share the video, get that engagement for us as well. But yeah, man, busy week for you, I think.
You just dropped it in like, listen, I think if it's a good episode, if you're still listening now, then it doesn't matter what order we do things. We can do the outro now.
Yeah, no, this is the new format, man. Don't have to explain to nobody. This is our new format. We do the talking bit first. Yeah, we get into the proper part of the pod now. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what we're doing. But no, in all seriousness, no. Like I was looking at I think I said to you last week, just after we recorded, actually, the hurricane that was before it got to Jamaica though, because it wasn't. I can't remember where it was before.
Wasn't it in
I feel like it was in like.
I feel like it was like in America somewhere.
No, it was somewhere like a Caribbean island. It was a Caribbean island somewhere. I'm going to say like Antigua or somewhere. I can't remember. So I might have got that wrong. But it was just like seeing like the devastation of it and just seeing the impact of it and how quickly, and I know it sounds horrible, but thankfully it didn't last too long in Jamaica. I know it sounds very selfish, but it kind of just passed kind of through. But even that passing through caused a hell of a lot of devastation. And hopefully, like, obviously, I know we've got family over there. We know people who've got family over there as well. So hopefully people will stay safe out there. But I remember reading, I think a woman passed away, like a tree, like just fell on her. It's like mental. So, so yeah, sad, man. What have you been reading into it and like seeing it?
Just like little bits, because it's quite crazy, and I know it was quite powerful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what stood out. It was quite a powerful one. And when these things happen, there's obviously the devastation it causes, but it's like hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, all of that. It's the aftermath as well. Like It's hard enough as it is out there with resources and. Sometimes it's not having the basic stuff or just having the basics. And then that, you have something like that gets taken away. So it's, it must be quite scary and quite sad, isn't it?
I think it's just, sorry, go on.
Well, go on. No,
I was just going to say, when you said about how it's like 150 mile per hour winds and it followed by 12 hours of heavy rain. So not only you've got the hurricane to deal with, you then have the flooding to deal with.
Yeah.
It's mental. Like it's crazy. Crazy.
It does make you take stock though, because I don't know about you, but I've been complaining about the weather a little bit in true English form, but it does make you thankful as much as I'm not. Like certain things that are going on in the country in lots of ways. It does make you thankful that we're not on a plate line. I know there's been the occasional hurricane or sort of mini tornado that we've had. We don't have that, and also we live in the first world country as well. So everything that we need. So it does really make you take stock, and I think especially when you've been to these places, I'm not saying I'm a regular traveler to the Caribbean, but when you go and you think, fuck, like if that happened here, that would be mad. But happening there with what they've got, man, just you have a real appreciation of what you have, and appreciation of how hard it must be for them,
Yeah, it's not nice. I'm just reading here as well that the Jamaican energy provider JPS said that about 65% or about 400,000 customers are without power. This is going back a while. This isn't like recent news. I think it was last week. 4th of July, 6th of July, sorry. Says the UN has unlocked $4 million, so the equivalent to 3.1 million for its emergency response fund to help the recovery of Jamaica, St. Vincent and Grenada as well. But it's just, I think it's just, even, I know that helps, like I know that the money helps and all that, but I think 400,000 like households or people without energy, like that money's not going to, sounds well, but that money's not going to go too far. Do you know what I mean? Because you got to rebuild, people got to rebuild their houses, someone's lost their business probably. Like it's just deadly. Like you said, I think we're very fortunate in terms of we don't get like hurricanes. The most we get in this country is mad floods, I think, you know, and even that I've never really like fully, I've never come downstairs and like my kitchen is fully flooded. Like, do you know what I mean? I think that's more like maybe down as like a south thing, like down further south, where you'll find like, you know, people are literally, their houses are destroyed by water. Like that's mental to me. But yeah, no, sad. It really is sad, man. And just like I said, it's quite fortunate that it passed through very quickly and kind of seems like it's moved on. But like you said before, it's the aftermath of like dealing with everything after that for me, you know, some people just won't have the resources. They didn't have the resources before. They're definitely not going to have the resources after.
Yeah, it's quite many. You think of countries with that experience that, because probably because I've grown up here, but I'll just be in constant fear. Like, can you imagine? Just I know they get some warning. I know obviously the meteorologists can
deter, like predict. Well, not predict.
Yeah. But just thinking, like literally next week, this thing could just blow through the country, and everything I had could be either gone or destroyed at any point more than once. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, I think for me, like, that would worry me. I think I'd be able to prepare. Say I'd be able to prepare, but I think I'd be more prepared for a hurricane than I would be for like an earthquake that is just sudden. You don't know when it's going to happen. Like, you know, with the hurricane, they can kind of tell you like this is going to be here in the next couple of hours or whatever. You know, you can try and prepare for it or try and just grab what you can and just, do you know what I mean, hope for the best. But with an earthquake, have you ever been in an earthquake before?
No.
When I say earthquake, I don't mean one where the buildings collapsed or nothing, but I've been in two mini ones, like when I was younger, and the one was that bad that it woke me up. This one I lived in Birmingham, and it was, because I woke up, and sorry, it's not even funny. I know I'm trying to put a bit of humour onto this, but I remember we had like a picture on the wall, like on the frame. I remember I fell asleep on the chair, the sofa thing, and I can't remember where my mum was. Maybe my mum was out, or I can't remember anyway. But I was downstairs. I remember I fell asleep watching the TV, and you just wake up, and the thing was shaking on the wall like proper. You know, in the movies where it's like that, and it's just shaking everywhere. And I thought, am I dreaming? Like, I looked over and I thought, this must be a dream still. And then you can see these things happening, and I was thinking, right, this is like, but then like it didn't last. I don't remember it lasting too long. Like it was literally like maybe not even an earthquake. It could have been like a little tremor, but I remember that feeling of like just waking up and not really knowing where you are. That discombobulated feeling of like just not knowing what's going on. Like that must be like magnified by like 10,000 in a hurricane or a earthquake or something like that. It must just be. It's like unpredictable. You can't predict how you're going to feel in that situation, I suppose.
No, for sure. No, I know you mean with the earthquakes, because if they come often, there's not much sort of building time into it, like you don't get much notice, and it just hits. And I've never been in either a hurricane. Well, actually, I think I've got an earthquake story, but I'll come back to it in a moment. But I imagine with a hurricane, you can see it sort of passing through, whereas my understanding with earthquakes is that motherfucker can hit any time, whenever it's ready. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nowhere really to run. A hurricane, I'm not saying you can run away from it, but it's traveling in a certain direction. But the earthquake, it just rips things apart from underneath.
Yeah.
I mean, you get buried in the rubble and all of that stuff. So, but no, I think so. You might even be able to help me out with this. Something happened in, what year is it? It was either 2007 or 2008. Is either like a mini earthquake or mini hurricane. I can't remember. And the reason I can't remember is I woke up one day and someone said to me, "Oh, did you hear about whatever it was that happened? I'm sure it was an earthquake." And I was like, "Nah." They're like, where are you? And I was like, I was asleep because I'd been out the night before. I think it was like a Thursday morning. I woken up. I think I was going to work. So obviously I was out on the Wednesday night. So obviously it's not really like the internet's a bit sparse them times. So people said, like the walls are shaking. It wasn't an earthquake. You said the walls are shaking. Like some house fell down the road. And he was like, "You don't wake up." So I was like, "No." And he goes, "So what happens if someone breaks in and tries to rob us and kill us and all of that? Or you gonna sleep through?" I was like, "Yeah, I sleep dead in it." Like you could come, the wildest things to me. I used to have to lock my door actually at uni because see some of the men are moving mad. So I've locked my door and have the key in the lock just in case someone else's key worked at one door or what. That was the only time. But that was I think was the end of 2007. But I don't know if you remember that or
possibly. I remember there being like a mad, like, I don't know if it was like a hurricane or like a tornado thing in Birmingham, and that was like ripping off people's roofs. And
it might have been that.
I don't think it was 2007 though. It could have been. Listen, I can't remember what I did last week, but
so it's like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Don't remind me, man. But yeah, but I remember being in Birmingham, like parts of like Spark Hill, Sparbrook and that in Birmingham, and like houses literally that you could see into their house, like their loft. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it was mental. So it was probably around that time though. It was probably around them times there. But hopefully, people, I'm sure we spoke about GoFundMe's and that last week, but I'm sure there are legitimate like charities out there that's trying to, I think I've seen it anyway, like on Instagram and stuff like that, people posting the like the links to actual charities that are hopefully going to help people in the Caribbean islands and America as well. Yeah, they need that over there. So if you are one of those people that like to donate, then I'm sure Google it, there'll be links that you can find over there for people, man. But yeah, very, very, very sad to hear that. 100%, man. Ryan Garcia, man, talk to me.
So I do understand when you help me fill in the gaps. So I don't know where his ethnic background, his heritage, but certainly I don't think he's looking like me. I don't think where he's from is where I'm from. I'm talking about the ancestry. So obviously you're talking about things we would ban. Was that the last one or the one before?
No, that was last week. That was
literally last week.
Yeah.
And then he's obviously coming out and using. He wouldn't survive in your world, let's put it that way. He's used the N-word, in just such a casual way, and obviously people are saying what you're doing, and he's come out and he's apologized, etc. But yeah. Do you know what it was when I saw it? I was thinking, this is literally like you couldn't have timed it.
Oh yeah, did I send it to you?
Yeah. I think it was either a couple hours afterwards or the day after.
It was the day after. I remember now. Yeah. So I don't know whether he's one of these people that is kind of like, he loves attention, innit? Like what's his name? Tate. What's his name? Tristan Tate. Andrew Tate. Andrew. Well, both of them. Yeah, both of them. Yeah. They like the attention. Katie Hopkins likes attention. Tommy Robinson likes attention. Like all these people, they like to do things that they know they really shouldn't say or do, but they do it because they know it's going to drive traffic and people to their accounts, and their name's going to be in the papers the next day and things like that. So
yeah, I
think, is it that, or has he got like an underlying like mental illness that just hasn't really been diagnosed fully? Like, I don't know. He's obviously.
I never like that argument.
No, let me finish.
But I know what you mean. Go on.
But I think as well, it isn't a mental illness. I think it's more substance abuse and the popularity that he thinks he has that allows him to just go and say what he wants. And that goes back to what my point was last week about the word in itself, that some people now just feel they can say it because they're probably in and amongst people that are saying it around them every single day. Like, I think his trainers, they're black. He must have black people around him. He probably says it to them. They say it to him. He just feels like he can say the word now. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, to him, why can't I say it? Because everyone's saying it around me and they're calling me one of you. So why can't I say it? But to put it on a tweet is mad. Oh, well, that's mad.
This is what I mean. Also, you say this is 3 words, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love, and then so
see that, even that, him saying "I love" is like, it's like a liquor man kind of situation. Like, he's saying it, but really he's not saying it because he loves us. He's saying it because he feels he can say the word. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's just for clout. Like, there's no, even if I tweeted that,
like, you wouldn't do it though. But yeah.
Oh no, but you know what I mean. Like, if
Yeah.
I said it, I'm sure you'd be thinking that would you? I know there can be a context behind it. And I know our culture is different to culture, overseas, particularly in America. So I know sometimes someone might have done something, and they'll be like, "Oh, I love these kind of people. I love my homies or whatever." But so why do you need to do that on the platform? That's what I just say. He could have said anything. Like, he could have been homophobic. He could have been misogynistic. I just find that's always the go-to. That's always the one. And it's like, and not you, but some people are like, maybe just was in a bad place, or it's like, no, like, what you woken up and consciously did that.
Yeah.
For clout.
I don't think maybe this isn't a fact actually, and maybe this is wrong, but I don't think someone who is able to get up every day, win fights at the highest level, articulate themselves very well sometimes, but then sometimes they have these weird moments. Like, I'm not in that space, so I can't talk about mental health to that degree, so I don't want to like start grouping everyone together. But I just think he's such a smart person that I don't think he can be used that as the excuse. Do you know what I mean? He's clearly smart. He's smart. He knows when and when not to say things. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a tricky one, because I don't want to like blanket everyone with that statement to say like, oh, just because you're normal 9 to 5 doesn't mean that you can't have mental health, or just because you get up and go to work doesn't mean. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think he's got it. I don't think he's got anything wrong with his mental health.
No, I suppose this comes from my own lens. Obviously, I do. And,
yeah.
Previous times I've worked in places with people that are very unwell, like really unwell, medication. They're just distressed from the day that, the moment they get up to when they go to bed. And I've been called that by people who are unwell, that don't know they're doing it. And yeah, it hurts just the same. I don't like to be called that ever, but it's not a case of, they've looked at me and thought that, and they're saying it to really hurt me. They're saying it because they're
just not really, they're not with us at the moment, like mentally well.
Yeah. Like for example, if you see someone on the street who's, I don't know, let's say they're homeless, they're unwell, they see 2 women holding hands and they start being homophobic. But they're just unwell. They're just saying that because they're not even saying it to the person. They're just saying it. Like, do you know, they're that gone, they're that unwell. So that's why I can never have the argument of they've had a loose moment. It's like, no, unless it's something I don't know.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Tourette's or...
Yeah, exactly.
No idea. Do you know what I mean? But
your fingers have got Tourette's. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Sorry, you're talking about a different example, but I'm talking about like Ryan Garcia. Like, he had to go in, log onto his Twitter account, type them words, press send, and still think that was okay. That's not like a he's not said it. Do you know what I mean? He's like physically had to go in and do the steps to then tweet it. But no, I know what you mean. Some people might just have Tourette's as well.
And then people will apologize because then when you come out, so this goes back to the whole Diddy thing. When you come out and then you start to say, oh, it's because of this or because of that, it's telling me that you still had a thinking process and that was okay. And you've done that because that
process is still there, isn't it?
Yeah. If someone comes out and says that I've got this illness or I've got, I don't know, like I said, Tourette's, or sometimes I have moments where I'm just not in contact with myself. Like, I go into a complete other reality and I'm not me. I've got different, but then that's different. And I'm apologizing because of when I was in that state, that's what happened. When someone says, I thought it was okay or whatever, I now know this. No. Dickhead. Actually, not a dickhead. I'll change it because I'll only get punched up in it. But Just I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong, and you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no. I was just looking now as well. So I was looking at his most controversial moments. So, and this is wild, some of these. So on the 3rd of March this year, Ryan Garcia pretended that he'd been murdered. So the boxer posted a disturbing video of his death on. So I don't remember this, of his death on social media. We've cut Ryan Garcia's throat and no one will find him. So that was the first bit. Because I remember at the start of the year, because he had a couple of fights coming up, or he had at least a big fight coming up with I can't remember the guy's name, but I'll tell you in a minute. And I remember there was loads of like mad things happening on Twitter, and people were saying like, and then they were saying he wasn't tweeting off his own account, someone else had his account and all that. But then it says here, April 21st, Garcia tested positive for the substance astronine. I don't know what that is. A performance-enhancing drug. The day before, it was Devin Haney. That's who he's fighting.
Okay.
So that was basically to do with like anti-doping.
Yeah.
Then he was threatened with death by Australian boxer George Cambozo after Garcia posted, "I slept with George Cambozo's wife. I'm not lying." Then he was arrested for damaging a room and a hallway in a Beverly Hills hotel. Oh yeah, look at this one. So on only last week, Bomba Clark is still out. So this must be why we're talking about him. On the 4th of July, Garcia was expelled by the WBC president after repeatedly using racial slurs against black people and Muslims in comments live streamed on social media. Garcia's family released a statement. You're going to like this bit. Garcia's family released a statement saying Ryan has been open about his ongoing struggle with mental health over the years, and as a family we are committed to ensuring and encouraging that he receives the necessary help to navigate this very challenging time and just both his immediate and long-term well-being.
So just so I'm clear, yeah, because I know that I've got a responsibility because of the job I do, and I think all have a responsibility because of the way that society works. I can tell you a little bit more about what I think off air. But anyway, so I think when you put things under the term mental health, it's dangerous because it's that person that is getting bullied at work, they're thinking about taking their own life, where they are not feeling fulfilled in life, where they're just struggling. Those people also have mental health issues, and you can go and get support as well. And I think when you just start to throw us down to mental health, it creates an issue of that's what it needs to look like, particularly in the public eye. I feel you have a responsibility just to not just say it's a mental health issue. There's clearly something that this person, the way that they engage in with society is just not, it's not correct and it's not appropriate. I'm being very, very diplomatic with my words, you know.
Yeah.
And there's also, there'll be a reason behind that, yeah? So maybe something in his childhood or, you know, life that he's lived. Everybody sees the world in their own way, and everybody's got a right to think that their way of living the world is okay. So quite clearly, this person, you'd hope that they go and talk to somebody. But I definitely, you can't just come out and say it's mental health, because that to me is not, mental health doesn't make you do that. It makes you feel things and then you respond in a way, but it doesn't make you racist.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? That's they're two completely different things.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think people are born racist, or do you think it's something that's something that's taught to you as you go, or like your environment teaches you to be racist?
No, I think it's environmental. I think you can have tendencies. I'm trying to like figure too like biological or scientific, but not that I'm an expert in any means. But I feel like you can have a tendency, like a biological tendency to act on impulse. So the way in which your body and your brain is wired, it might be that you want to, when you have an emotion that you can't deal with, or an intrusive thought, you act on it a bit sooner. So we might be different. We might have the same thought of chumpy. You know, I don't like children, for example. But my chemical makeup might mean that I can manage that thought, and I don't need to, you know, go telling around people don't have kids or whatever, whereas your makeup, not saying this is your view, but your biological makeup might be, actually I need to act on that because my body's urging me to do that. Do you know what I mean? And to say something, do you know what I mean? So children's not always the best example, but I think you have that in you, but then I think you learn from other people how it is you treat others, and society will do that anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think you're born with it, but from day dot, society is already giving you narratives, whether it's people saying the N-word or other kind of words, or you just go out into society, you see a magazine, you go onto the metro, you don't have a race on your body, but all of a sudden you're seeing, smiley white faces, and all things are good, and then the only black face you see is person white for manhunt, or do you know what I mean, or England play poorly again, or whatever it is. So society is gonna program you that way. That's my thoughts anyway. What about you? Do you think people are just born and bang, they're
no? I think in a way, yeah, but in a way, no. I think because your environment is what you are, especially as a child. Like you're exposed to what you're exposed to, and children are sponges. I say this all the time, that they just pick up on anything, language, actions, violent actions, non-violent actions, whatever it is, they pick up on it. So if you're in a nice, loving household, you don't mind having someone of a different race or a different religion in your house, and you talk to them, you got different friends and whatever else, your child's more than likely going to grow up thinking that that's the normal thing, that you just have anyone in your house, not anyone, but you know what I mean, like any race, religion, whoever in your house. But if you're one of these people that has the England flag out every day, even when there's no England games on, and you're showing racial, no one call them traits, but you know what I mean, you're being a racist in front of your children, and you're saying, no, you can't mix with that person because they're black, or they're Indian, or they're Muslim, or whatever, then that child's probably going to grow up with those same ideas because that's what they think is the normal thing. So in a way, I think, yes, you're not born a racist, but you can be taught very early on in life that very quickly, that this is the route that I want you to go down, son or daughter or whatever. But in actual fact, if we just stop doing that and we teach them to just love everyone and treat everyone as an individual rather than, and treat them off face value. So if someone's going to be an idiot to you, then they're just an idiot. Doesn't matter about their race or religion. Then it should be all right. But it's mad you just said that about the black and white faces, because I don't know if you heard about the guy, maybe a bit of a trigger warning, but the guy with the crossbow.
Yeah.
So it's a bit mad, isn't it? Because I know that, like, even now they're trying to make out like his is he from like originally from Morocco or somewhere, but he's English. I think his heritage might be Moroccan, but it's mad because the narrative is like, they wasn't like manhunt for, do you know what I mean? It was almost like, we've got to find him sort of thing. Like, let's go and find him and make sure that he doesn't hurt anyone else. It's not like, let's go and kill him because he's just killed 3 people. Whereas that would have been the narrative, I think, if he was black or a Muslim, they'd be like, we got to kill him straight away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously there's so much to that, and I know lots been uncovered around it. But no, absolutely, it's the same with the guy, the guy that's also gone missing in Spain. Whatever's happened to him, Jay
Slater.
Yeah, and it's the same thing there. Like, you're seeing him. It was only when people started digging into a bit about his life, and again, mostly speculation, I think, but there's some stuff that's true there. Then it's like, oh, this is a real picture. But I think this is where in society we lose the context that every race has good and bad people. Like every it's not just the black people are okay or black people aren't okay, or
that's what I was saying. Everyone.
Yeah.
You got to take everyone on face value and just make sure that you're smart enough to know that person's wrong, or they're not a good person to be around, and that person is a good person to be around, and that's the kind of energy you want to be around 24/7, as opposed to keeping these bad people, regardless of their race or whatever, around you. You just don't want to be around them. That's how I take life, and I've taken life like that for years.
Yeah, no, I hear that. But again, it's I hope that Ryan Garcia gets whatever he needs to moving forward, I think probably a lot of therapy, if I'm honest, not because it's a mental health issue, but because there's just some things that he needs to work through. If he's going to want to engage with society and communities, he needs to go and get help. Do
you think it's not just well, I agree he needs help, but don't you think it's more, because I feel like it must be substance abuse. It has to be. There has to be some form of like substance that's he's beating down on every single day that's making him this way. Because I don't watch his fights. I didn't really watch. I watched the last one, but some of his interviews, it just gives me like, I've been around people. I know people that have done a lot of like substance abuse before, and I know the signs, and he has the signs to tell me that he is definitely or has been on something for him to be the way that he is.
Yeah, 100%, and that's what I mean about getting help. I think whoever's helping them needs to ask, why is it that you need to be taking this? Like, what's the benefits of this? Like,
money, though.
Is it about? Yeah, but they're not. But then it's always the why question. Why do I want? Like, what are you trying to prove? Even if you want to go down that career and do those things, what's behind all of that? Why do you need to go down this route, this method, in order to get what you want? And that's a conversation he needs to have. You know, it reminded me of Kendrick and the Drake beef. It's a lifelong battle with itself. You know,
they're not like us.
But yeah, no. Honestly, like, I think that's it, and that's where, as a society, obviously we've got choices to make. I think we're all quick, and I do this as well. We're all quick to say, right, that person's cancelled, they're written off, and to an extent, for me, some people are. Don't get me wrong, but also.
Who have you fully cancelled? Who have you got fully cancelled, like fully cancelled, where?
The list is too long, cuz. Just all them man that's been to the island. There's so many people.
Nah, do you know what? I can't say that. I can't say everyone, because I'm sure Ronaldo went on the island, you know. Not Cristiano, although he's probably been on there. R9. Yeah, R9 was on there. But I think he was there, it's like, he wasn't there for that. He was just there because he'd been invited, and he was with like some other people and someone. Yeah, he wasn't invited directly. He was just there as a tag along sort of thing.
Listen,
so
there's been a lot, but I think for me, obviously, you know, cancel who you want, do whatever you want to do. But at our point, we also need to be accepting that sometimes people do want to change. Like, if we're saying to someone, go get help, but we're not even willing to, and this is in any way, whatever you do, and up to you. But if they're not willing to try and show some compassion and love to that person. The whole point is that they're probably looking for that. So when they're trying to get it, we're not giving it to them. And what's the point? We're all hypocrites. Do you know what I mean? So at a point, if he's deciding he want to go and do what he needs to do and get on a different trajectory, I hope that there's enough people there to show him love to allow him to continue to kind of do that as well. But that might feel like a long time away.
Do you know what I'm going to say? Fuck Ryan Garcia. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. I'll say it. You can come and punch me in my face if he wants to. I don't give a shit. Fuck him, because you can't say all them words and all that and then go, oh, but I'm mentally ill. If you knew that before, you didn't need to say that to tell us that. You just go and get the help you need. You don't need to tweet them stupid things out and fake your own death. And come on, man, get out of here. Get out of here, man. But so yeah, fuck Ryan Garcia and fuck anyone that's associated to him, man. Fuck them. Dickheads.
But see, coming back to your point earlier, this is why the Euros for the country has been good, because it, regardless of, I made loads of comments, but I do see the essence of bringing people together, because there's just too much division and too much hatred and spitefulness going on. It's nice, just seeing people connect with it's a mixture of people or just groups of people on their own, but just connect and just enjoy and enjoy life. You know what I mean?
But I think that happens anyway, cuz I think. I hear your point though, sorry, I do hear your point, but like when you go to a music festival, like 9 times out of 10, you're just vibing with someone you've never met in your life before. You're just literally with them and you're just vibing and you're talking. And then you don't ever see that person ever again 9 times out of 10. You never see them. You just, do you know what I mean?
We need more of that. We need more of that. There's not enough.
Then that's just people.
We know too much about each other. Do you know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
Sometimes it's just good to, even if that person has not the maddest views, but maybe they don't live a life like you, but sometimes just need to just be one person in a moment, enjoy it, share the moment with others, and keep it moving. That's it.
So you
sound like a hippie now, isn't it?
No. I'm going to say, so you're willing to sit down with Tommy Robinson and have a pint with him and talk?
If he can repent his ways and acknowledge that,
Boy, you're better than me, cuz you're better than me. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm telling you, there's two things I learned doing this job, that I do that cause a lot of issues: a lack of love, and a lack of love from parents.
and neither of them relate to Tommy Robinson. I'm sorry. So
no, he hasn't. He for whatever reason, all that hate, that means there ain't enough love in his life. He can't show that love. And I feel sorry for him, because he's missing out on all the beautiful things that you and I get to engage with, because we have that love for people. You know what I mean? So it's lost in it. He can go and live a life of hate. I'm good.
Before we move on, though, I did think it was funny that he got arrested. Did you see it? He got arrested in Canada for I can't remember what he got arrested for. Let me find out quickly. But then, because people have been saying that Tommy Robinson's not even, he's Irish, isn't he? He's not even English. He's not even English, and he's patriotic and all this and that. He was like a European arrest warrant they had for him, I think. Not a European, international, sorry.
Okay.
But I think it was to do some sort of like immigration thing. Let me find that quickly.
How sad is that, though? You're fronting something that really you're not even fully in that. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's happened in your life? You've got to go to the lengths to want to make other people's life difficult for something that you're not even really a part of anyway. That's not fully you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm living life.
It says here that he was arrested. This is wild. He was arrested on suspicion of immigration offences in Canada. And the worst thing was as well, because he had to fill like a document in.
Tommy,
yeah, exactly. There's a document they had to fill in, and it showed that he was born in Ireland. He's Irish, and he's not even from England. And he's that patriotic about a place that he's basically talking about people that he's talking about himself.
Also, I don't know what part of Ireland he's from. That's like
Ireland's a different place, though, man. Like, my experiences of Ireland have been so different. Like, one's been really good, and then I've had other experiences where it's really bad. But that's a pod for another day, I think.
Yeah,
pod for another day.
I'll tell you something offline at some point. Something happened to me.
Have you been to Ireland yet? I didn't.
No. Oh. But just an experience I had very, very recently. That was kind of bad. But anyway, that's for another day. We need to. We're gonna move on.
Yeah. Because when you sent me this yesterday, strangely, I was having a drink myself. I was having a glass of red wine. But yeah, I'm gonna try and put the clip in here. So for the audio listeners mainly, what you sent to me yesterday, Kieren, was mad, because at first I thought we was annoyed that they were drinking in a church, but then I thought you can't be mad at that, because
no, I was confused.
Yeah, because they do that. They have wine in church anyway, don't they? It's part of their thing. So I thought, okay. And then when I seen the kid roll down the slide, yeah, and he said like late evening soft play, I was like, what? Like, and you meant to like what? That was my first reaction to it. So for anyone who's listening on the audio version, I don't know if you want to explain this better actually, but
yeah. Go on. I'll explain. So basically, there's a place you can go. I'm assuming it's in London, because
it's in London. It's in London. I checked it out already.
Wild things tend to be. You can go and you take your kid there. This is like in the evening. So you send off your kid into the ball pit and you go off drinking, so you can get some wine and food and whatnot. And I had mixed feelings. That's why I said it. I was confused, because I was thinking, okay, like when you go to them other countries where you actually have good weather, it's warm. You see the kids are playing out on the square, and people are meeting and connecting. And I thought, okay, that's cool. The bit that bugged me was the alcohol, and that just making me think this country's got a fucking alcohol problem, man. I'm thinking, so you go and spend all this money just so you can have a drink and send off your kids somewhere. Like, just that's the bit where I was out of everything. I was just thinking, this is, because I think it was sort of targeted as you can still have a drink in the evening, even if you've got kids, and it's like you've got quite a drinking problem, man.
I think it's mad, because like you don't really associate the two together. I don't like when you go to the soft plays like in Liverpool, for instance. Like they obviously don't serve alcohol. They just literally is tea, coffee, like soft drinks, whatever, and like cakes, crisp, all the rest of it. But they like all soft plays up here shut at like I think it's like 5:30 or something like that, 5 o'clock, 5:30. To know that there's somewhere you can go to, because if you go in of an evening, you're not going to have one drink. You're not going to have like one glass of wine or one pint. Like no one, like you just said then, especially in this country, no one goes to the pub and just has one or two. Because when you get the little taste and you're sitting there and someone's, go on, have one more, go on, they're all right, they're playing. They got another half an hour on the soft, don't worry about it. And then, go on, you can get two in by then.
Yeah. Last orders.
Go get the last round then. And you're like, the kid's like fucking got his arm broken, one's got a big bruise on there. Because have you been in these soft plays before?
Yeah, never had.
Fuck, the one by ours, like literally I take them here every now and again. I'll take them. We got like an annual pass thing where we just we can go whenever we want for free, but then you pay for like the food and drinks either. So I take them every now and again because I don't move, I'm literally watching them. I'm like this, like just walking around. Wherever they move, I'm with them. Like I don't go into the actual thing because it's like a mad maze thing, but I can see them and I have to keep an eye. It's not my kids I'm keeping an eye on as well. That's the funny joke. It's other people's kids I'm looking at because everyone else is sat down. They're like down their phones. They're chatting to each other. It's like, ha, 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 all giggling and shit. And I'm just thinking, if one of your kids touch one of my kids, I'm going to snap their legs. Do you know what I mean? And imagine that when people have had a drink, that must be chaotic. That's what the first thing I was thinking. It must be chaos.
I was thinking, I mean, I think the kind of person who can probably afford to take their kids to soft play in the evening and go drinking, I think that's going to be a certain audience. And look, I've never been. So obviously, I'm judging, but listen, can people in this country just go somewhere without needing to drink? You can go soft play and have a chat and have some fun. Fucking hell, like a whole bottle of wine and things. Do you know what I mean?
It's mad because I'm just looking at pictures how like this must be the only soft play where they've got a Challenge 25 poster stuck up on the outside the cafe. Like, do you know how mad that is? They've got like, I'm just looking at a picture on here now. It says like you can get like mocha, espresso, flat white, cappuccino, any pastry. Any pastry and a hot drink, £3.50. But then they've got wines, they've got beer. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they got Jaeger bombs, is it?
You know what I mean? They got flipping Sambuca fruit shoots.
Can you imagine?
It must be chaos, because like they're chaos. Like soft play is chaos anyway, without alcohol included. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's just running around, and you just can't think in there properly. Like you can't like I see people in there sometimes, and they're working. Like they got their laptop, and I'm thinking, how are you working in this environment? Like, I can't even like get my phone out and just like read something because it's just my head's like mad. But to add alcohol into that for me, I think it's disgusting. I think it's disgusting. I'll be honest.
No, I hear that. I understand from, because obviously I'm talking from a standpoint. I don't have kids, but I understand you might want a bit of respite or whatever. But yeah, man, do that about alcohol. Like, have a drink when you get home.
That's it though. Like I think, like I never like. It's like the pub. Like I don't like seeing kids in pubs. I know it's like back in the day when we were growing up, for instance. I don't think. I'm trying to think if I ever went to the pub. I generally don't think I went in a pub as a kid. No joke either. Like I don't remember a time I was in an actual pub as a kid. I don't remember. I don't think my mum would have taken me to a pub because she just thought they weren't for kids. Do you know what I mean? She just didn't want me in an environment where people are drunk at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon and all that stupidness. Like she just didn't want me around it. But now when I go to a pub or something, I see there's bare kids in there. We're like just bare kids in the pub. Do you know what I mean? And like some of them now, oh no, tell a lie. I think I did. There was a pub that I went to and I swear it had a soft play. It did have a soft play in there. It did, but it was for a
even
it was a birthday party. Someone had their birthday party. And I remember it was like I feel like it's called like a Wacky Warehouse.
Okay.
I think it was called Wacky Warehouse or something like that. I went in there.
But I agree though. I don't think kids need to see adults being drunk before Hollyoaks is on. Like, that's,
you know what I'm saying?
Hollyoaks is still a thing, but yeah, it's okay, man. Like, just it's cool. Do the thing.
Why? Like, why do you think that is though? Like, in terms of like people needing to go out and not. How can people go out with their kids and not be able to have a drink?
That is too big a question, but it's time that you got. I don't know, because, you know, like I said, when you go to other countries, like people do drink. I'm thinking about European countries, for example. Like, people have a drink.
Oh, Spain do it all the time. But they have one and go.
Yeah, they enjoy it. They have it. They like the taste of the beer.
Yeah.
The kids are calm, because I think it's just
get the shots in. Get the shots.
When you ask a lot of people why they drink, it's not because I really like different types of tequila and I'm really interested in the taste and the texture, and
they just want to drink.
It's just like, yeah, it's the quickest way to get drunk. But you understand? But why do you want to escape from life so much? And then that's what I mean. It's too big a question, because it's another country, the political climate. Then, but I just think just enjoy life. Like, be conscious. You know, could be having a drink later. But
do you know what? No. Do you know why? That's why I got that in before when you said. I put my disclaimer in already. I said I had a glass of red wine last night. I'm going to be drinking tonight. Probably. I'm going to be drinking this weekend. So don't judge me if you see me out with my kids drinking. You understand?
Ask you to judge it.
Yeah. Don't think because my kids are sat with their iPads at the table. And listen, I'm messing now. I'm going to be.
Yeah. It's gonna. That made me laugh when I saw that. But yeah, Instagram's mad anyway. All these mad adverts.
Oh yeah, we got to talk. I mean, we're going to wrap up now, but we got to talk about the Fresh Prince one. We got to talk about that next week, man. So if you want to know about the Fresh Prince thing that we're talking about, make sure you tune in for episode 5 next week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, go to the audio version as well. If you want to commute somewhere this weekend, make sure you listen to the audio version of the podcast if it's easier for you as well. And we'll be back next week, man. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy the weekend. And also, before I forget to say this, it's coming home.